First of all, congrats to Colgate on a fantastic year. I was really impressed by them. On film, they passed well, but I really thought we could disrupt them more than we did. They passed really well, and you see it with their hitting clip. That's higher than a lot of teams that have played us, and then they've got good parity. So we didn't know where they were going a lot. I thought they did a nice job mixing things up, and it disrupted us a fair amount. Liked that we were in some pressure situations and made some big plays at different times to handle that, and we're excited for the opportunity to move on.
Defensively, what changed going from the second set into the third set? At least statistically, it looked a good chunk better from 2 to 3.
I think we just talked a lot about when we went back. I think the main thing was a lot of the balls that we were letting drop, like a lot of tips. There's just a lot of junk, and that's just about being disciplined. And so I think we established that we don't want to let those balls drop. And once we did that, then things started to turn around a little bit.
Yeah, this is a really good blocking team. There were several rallies that seemed to be one just with touches on your side of the net, not letting them get kind of in a rhythm offensively. How did you guys grade out tonight blocking? How did you win that against that battle against a good blocking team?
Yeah, they definitely are like a really good blocking team. We looked at their numbers before the game, and they're very impressive. But I feel like the thing I was thinking about was just getting close to my pins, just trying to close that seam because they were doing a great job setting the block, so I was just trying to get close to them to try and form that wall.
On a similar note, the first 2 sets, it felt like you were getting a lot of touches but not getting a lot down, and then the third set, they finally started to fall. How does that feel when that starts to convert?
It feels great. I feel like one of the things the coaches are telling us would be just be over the net a little bit earlier. And so I feel like that helped, and it just got them to fall, and yeah, it's great.
Norah, talk about the end of that second set and winning that close set. You had that back row attack. Just kind of reading your lips, I think you thought maybe it was going to go long.
Oh, it was definitely out, yeah. No, the second set was a fight. It was fun. We really, we had a timeout at the end, and we talked about just embracing it. Like we know that we were supposed to win that game, but every team in the NCAA tournament is really good. They're there for a reason. So yeah, we just kind of leaned into the fight and embraced that close game at the end. It was fun.
Ava, first NCAA tournament win, how does it feel?
Oh my gosh, amazing. Can't stop smiling. I keep saying that, but it's so exciting. And I can't wait for tomorrow too. I think it's going to be a really fun game, so I'm pumped.
Norah, since last season, how long has the way that your season ended last year kind of stuck in your mind and, wanting to get this opportunity again to kind of right the ship?
Yeah, probably too long. We're excited. We think that we're in a really good spot this year. And yeah, just to get that first win is really great, and we're just going to keep taking it one game at a time.
Kirsten, defensively, I know you guys have been proud of yourselves on not letting, as Ava said, the jump fall. It seemed like tonight Colgate was really crafty with the way they were getting kills and scoring. How did you see your team kind of handle that and not let it kind of affect their confidence, considering how they played defensively down the stretch?
Well, I've said all along this is a resilient team. I think they do a nice job of not getting rattled, but I do think that, we've got to be better defensively tomorrow night. I thought we let too many balls drop that are balls that we typically can take care of. So that will be a point of emphasis for sure, and I have no doubt they'll be on that tomorrow night.
Kirsten, talk about playing Minnesota again tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're a really different team. It's a lot of the same players, but you can tell they're just in a much better headspace. 2 outstanding outsides, a really outstanding right side, middles that are phenomenal blockers, and then one of the best setters in the country that's really a tall kid that always plays remarkable defense. You think you can kind of drop balls, and somehow she consistently gets it up. So, and the Big Ten Libero of the Year last year. So they're good in all spots, and we're excited to get a chance to play them again.
How is your team different from when you first played Minnesota?
Personnel-wise, Norah didn't play in that match, so that's one change. Sydney Bressinger's in the libero spot, and then the right side, I think Bickelmeyer played most of that match. Kiara was in some of that match, so both teams are pretty similar. There's a little bit of difference.
Both players, I know it's not necessarily part of your history, but Minnesota has Creighton season 3 times. Is there a little bit of an edge that you can kind of take into that tomorrow, considering the history there in the NCAA tournament with those 2?
Yeah, one of those times was my freshman year, and it was a really close, it was a fun game that we just came up a little short, so I'm excited to get that chance again and hopefully come out on the other side tomorrow.
Sky McKeon came off the bench, 3 aces, 13 days. Can y'all talk about her impact a little bit?
I mean, she's been playing phenomenal. I mean, and she's so fun to be out there with. She's always smiling, and she's really been making a difference. So, I mean, she's been killing it.
Yeah, she was incredible. There's a lot of balls that they would just barely tip over, and I thought for sure they're going down, and then she just gets her hand under it, and then we'd win the point. So definitely an impactful player.
Here's I mean, Norah and David were efficient tonight, but schools like Colgate was clamping on them. How big was Kiana and Kiara's start to be really efficient, especially in set one, to kind of just keep the offense terminating while they were focusing on pins?
Yeah, I thought, I'm looking at the hitting numbers, and everyone hit at a good clip. And, that's what we've kind of hung our hat on, that Kendra can distribute to anybody and we can have success. So that's going to be imperative tomorrow with how big of a blocking team Minnesota is, that we're going to have to be able to create holes. And that's going to, our passing and defense will be a big part of whether we're able to do that.
Does your preparation change as a coach when you're going into a rematch as opposed to the first time you're playing a team?
It doesn't change per se. I mean, you're still watching a ton of film. You're watching some of the film of when you played. It was a really long time ago. But I think the other thing is you think, okay, what adjustments are they going to make? And so you try to be preemptive on what adjustments they could make.
Any other questions?